Good day everyone. Welcome to my video. For today's episode, we will delve into the inspiring world of volcanoes. These towering mountains are more than just breathtaking landscape. Their dynamic forces of nature are the ones who shape our planet for billions of years. So today, we will embark on a fairy journey to understand what volcanoes are, how they erupt, and the factors influencing eruption, and the potential hazard they pose. So buckle up and get ready to explore the inner working of these fascinating geological wonders. So before we start the lesson, let's have our objectives. So we have three objectives here. The first one, at the end of the lesson, the students will be able to describe the key processes involved in volcanic eruption. So in objective 2, we have the students will be able to identify the factors that influence volcanic eruptions, such as magma composition, temperature, and the presence of gases. So for the last objectives, the students will be able to recognize the common volcanic hazards such as pyroclastic flows, ashfall, and lahars. So to start our lesson, let's define what is volcano. So for you to understand what is volcano, imagine that the earth as a giant apple. So the hot molten rock deep within is like an apple core. So this is called magma. So when this magma finds a way to rise towards the surface, it breaks through the Earth's crust, so forming a volcano. So think of it as a vent. So a fairy chimney that allows magma to erupt onto the surface. So that is volcano. So volcano comes in all shapes and sizes, from towering stratovolcanoes like Mount Fuji to the gentle slopes of shields volcanoes in the Hawaii. So these geological giants leave their mark on this landscape. So some remain dormant for centuries, meaning to say dormant, they didn't erupt for hundreds of years, while the others erupt frequently, spewing lava, ash, and gases. So fun fact, do you know that the world's largest active volcano is the Mount Mauna Loa? It's a shield volcano located in Hawaii. Now that we know what is volcano, let's discuss how do volcanoes erupt. So every time you think volcanoes, did you always ask to yourself, what triggers this fiery explosion? So to answer that, it is simple, due to pressure and the nature of the magma. So for you to really understand what it is, imagine a shaken bottle of soda. So the liquid magma holds the dissolved gases under pressure. So when this pressure builds up enough, the magma violently forces its way out, causing an explosion. So that's how do volcanoes erupt. So the type of eruption depends heavily on the composition of magma. So first, the runny and low gas magma flows smoothly, forming a gentle slope like shield volcano, while the thicker or gas-rich magma explodes violently, sending ash and rock fragments high into the atmosphere. So fun fact, did you know that the ash clouds from the 1815 eruption of Mount Tambora in Indonesia blocked the sunlight for months, causing a global climate crisis? Now that we know what is volcano and how do volcanoes erupt, let's proceed to why do volcanoes erupt. So I provide three reasons here. The first one is the buoyancy of the magma. The second one, the pressure from the dissolved gases. And lastly, the increase in pressure of chamber lid. So now, let's start with the first one, the buoyancy of magma. So for you to understand what it is, imagine a hot air balloon rising in the sky. So the magma, being less dense than the surrounding rock, also want to rise. So this buoyancy, along with the pressure from the gas, propels magma upwards, eventually leading to an eruption. So it is clear? Okay, so now let's proceed to the second one, the pressure from the dissolved gases. So as mentioned earlier, the trapped gas in the magma plays a crucial role. So as magma rises, the pressure on it decreases. So this allows the gas to expand and escape, forming a bubbles that rise through the magma. So just like when you open a shaken soda bottle, the rapid release of pressure leads to an eruption. So it is clear? Okay, so let's proceed to the last reason. This is the increase in the pressure of the chamber lid. So we know that the magma resides in the underground chambers within the Earth's crust. So the rock above this chamber acts as a lid. So sometimes due to the tectonic plate movement, this lid weakens and fractures. So this allows the pressure inside the chamber to increase dramatically, eventually triggers explosion. Now that we know what is volcano, how do volcano erupts, and why does volcano erupts, let's discuss the different factors that influences the volcanic eruption. So I provide 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 factors here. So we have the magma composition, the temperature, the water content, the depth of magma chamber, and lastly the tectonic setting. So now, let's start with the first factor, which is the magma composition. So the chemical makeup of magma plays a big role. So I think that I mentioned it earlier, but let's explore it further. So the first one, the runny silica poor magma like basalt erupts less violently, forming a lava flow, while the thicker silica rich magma like rhyolite can be highly explosive, so forming an ash clouds and pyroclastic flows. So fun fact, did you know that some eruption can even eject pumice? So it is a lightweight, foamy volcanic rock that can float on water. So it's clear? So now let's proceed to the second factor, which is the temperature. So we know that the hotter magma is generally more fluid and erupts more easily, while the cooler magma is thicker and can lead to more explosive eruption. So imagine a pouring hot honey versus the cold honey. So the hotter one flows more readily compared to the colder one. So now we have the first two. Now let's proceed to the third factor, which is the water content. So the water trapped in the magma can be a game changer. When the water comes into the contact with hot magma, it rapidly boils and expands, adding significantly to the pressure and causing a more violent eruption. So imagine adding a water to a hot pan of oil. So did you notice that it can cause a dangerous explosion? So that is the first three factors. Now let's proceed to the fourth factor, which is the depth of magma chamber. So the depth of magma chamber also influences the eruption. First, the shallower chamber experience less pressure, allowing magma to erupt more readily, while the deeper chamber holds magma under the higher pressure, potentially leading to a more explosive eruption. So when it finally breaks through, imagine that a deeply buried balloon versus the one close to the surface. So the deeper one will require more force to pop out. So now, let's proceed to the last factors that influences the volcanic eruption, which is the tectonic setting. So, the location of a volcanic or volcano plays a crucial role in the volcanic eruption. So, the volcanoes are often found alongside with the plate boundaries, where the tectonic plates are moving apart or spreading or ridges or colliding or subduction zones. So these movements create a weakness in the Earth's crust, allowing a magma to rise and erupt. Imagine a squishing dough of ball, so the cracks appear where the pressure is the highest. Now that we know what is volcano, how do volcano erupts, why do volcanoes erupt, and the different factors that influence the volcanic eruption, let's proceed to our last topic, which is the different common volcanic hazards. So I provide 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 common volcanic hazards, which is the pyroclastic flow, ashfall, lahar, lava flow, volcanic gases, volcanic debris avalanches, and the volcanic tsunami. So now, let's start with the first one, which is the pyroclastic flow. So imagine a scorching, fast-moving avalanche of hot ash, rock fragments, and gas. So this is a pyroclastic flow or pyroclastic flow. So one of the most dangerous volcanic hazards. So it can travel at a speed exceeding the 100 miles per hour and incinerate everything in its path. So the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 7980 buried Roman cities of Pompeii and Herculaneum under the deadly pyroclastic flow. So now, let's proceed to the second one, which is the ashfall. So volcanic ash consists of fine, gritty particles ejected from the eruption. So the ash clouds can disrupt air travels, contaminate water supplies, and damage infrastructure. So, fun fact, the 1980 eruption of Mount Helens caused a massive ashfall that blanket parts of the western United States, costing billions of dollars in damages. So that is how dangerous ashfall is. So now let's proceed to the third hazard, which is the lahar. So imagine a deadly mudflow composed of volcanic debris, ash, and water. So this is a lahar, a fast-moving and incredibly destructive phenomenon. So lahars can occur when heavy rains mobilize volcanic ash deposits on the slope of volcano. So another fun fact, the 1985 eruption of Nevado del Ruiz in Colombia triggers a series of lahars that buried a town of Amero, killing over 25,000 people. So now let's proceed to the fourth hazard, which is the lava flow. So a hot molten rock erupting from a volcano is called lava. So lava flows can destroy buildings, infrastructures, and entire landscape. So fun fact again, The 2018 eruption of Kilauea volcano in Hawaii caused extensive damage, destroying hundreds of homes and forcing evacuation. So now let's proceed to the last hazard, which is the volcanic gases. So just like the other gases like carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, volcanoes can release a variety of gases, including the sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, and hydrogen sulfide. So these gases can be harmful to human health, causing different respiratory problems and even a death in high concentration. It is clear? Okay. So now let's proceed to the volcanic debris of avalanches. So these are large, rapid landslide of volcanic material caused by the collapse of volcano dome or slope. So they can travel long distances and causes a significant destruction in its path. So now let's proceed to the last hazard of volcanic eruption, which is the volcanic tsunami. So underwater volcano eruptions or landslides can displace a large volume of water, triggering a tsunami. So these waves can be devastating to coastal communities, as seen in the 2018 eruption of Anak Krakatauke volcano in Indonesia, which causes a tsunami that killed hundreds of people. So that's it. I hope that you learned about how do volcanoes erupt, what is volcano, and why do volcanoes erupt, as well as the different factors and the common hazard of volcanic eruption.